Hi, I'm Teacher Malyn. Now we are going to discuss Lesson 4, which is factoring sum and difference of two cubes. So you know already what perfect square is. What about perfect cube? What numbers are considered as perfect cube? Okay, let's have a recall. If I have 1, then list the factors of 1 wherein only one number multiplied itself will give 1. Okay? If I multiply 2 to itself 3 times, what do I have? I have 8, right? 2 times 2 times 2. If I have 3 multiplied to itself, I have 3 times 3 times 3 will give you 27. If I multiply 4 times 4 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. If I have 5, another 5 multiplied, I have 125. If I have 6 times 6 times 6, 6 times 6, 36, times 6, we have 216, and so on and so forth. Now, 1, 8, and 27, 64, 125, and 216 are examples of perfect cube. These are the numbers when multiplied, having one factor multiplied to itself 3 times will give that number, and that number is the perfect cube. So when I ask, what is the cube root of 1? Your answer is 1. When I ask, what is the cube root of 8? Your answer should be 2. What is the cube root of 27? Your answer should be 3. What is the cube root of 64? Your answer should be 4. What is the cube root of 125? Your answer is 5. What is the cube root of 216? It is 6. What is the cube root of 1000? Anybody? It is 10, because 10 times 10 times 10 will give you 1000. So the cube root of 1000 is 10. How will you know that a literal coefficient is a perfect cube? Say for example, x cubed. Say for example, m6. Say for example, a9, b12, y15. All these literal coefficients are perfect cube. Can you see a pattern? Yes, there is a pattern. If the exponent is divisible or can be divided by 3 without remainder, that literal coefficient such as x cubed, m6, a to the 9th power, b to the 12th, y to the 15, etc. are examples of perfect cube. So that when I can say, that x cubed is the same as x multiplied to itself. When I ask, what is the square root, cube root cube root, the exponent 3 is read as cube. What is the cube root of x to the cube? what is the cube root of x cubed? So your answer should be x. What is the cube root of m to the 6? So m to the 6 can be written as m squared. Why I wrote it this way? Because, as I said a while ago, the exponent of the literal coefficient should be divided or can be divided by 3 or divisible by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So the quotient 2 should be written as the exponent of every root. So you have here, when I ask, what is the cube root of m6? So your answer should be m squared. Do you understand this? If I have a to the 9, I can write it 3 times multiplying to itself. But what should be the correct exponent to every factor? It should be 3. Why 3? Because 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, if you would add all the exponents, 3 plus 3 plus 3 will give you 9. 2 plus 2 plus 2 will give you 6. Here you have, if there is no exponent, it means the exponent is 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Do you get? If I have y to the 15th, y to the 15th can be factored as y times y times y. But what should be the exponent here so I can say that y to the 15 is the same as y to the blank, y to the blank, y to the blank? It should be what? It should be 5. How I got 5? 5 divided by 3 is, 15 divided by 3 is 5. So that if I have is cube root of y to the 15, the answer is y to the 5. Is this clear? And this is true also for if I have cube root of a to the 9, you have a cube. So simply determine first if the term is a perfect cube to be able to factor the sum and the difference of two cubes. You're able. Okay. We are going to have part 1 of the lesson 4, factoring sum of two cubes. We will be guided with the formula a cubed plus b cubed is equal to a plus b multiplied by a squared minus ab plus b squared. Wherein a is the representation for the first term, b for the second term. And then the first factor can be obtained by getting the cube root of the first term and the cube root of the second term for b. For the second factor, we can find the terms of the second factor by squaring the first term. Then to get the middle term or the second term of this factor, we multiply the first term and the second term regardless of the sign. Then to get the b squared, you square the second term of this first factor. Okay? Okay. Then let us apply to example number 1. Okay? Let's have the cube root of m cubed. What is the cube root? It is m plus following the formula, cube root of 8 is 2. To get the second factor, we refer to the first factor that we have. So you have here ma squared, meaning m times n, we have m squared, minus ab means multiply multiply m and b. So you have 2m. Then b squared means the second term, 2 squared meaning 4. Then copy the plus sign. So these are the factors of the sum of two cubes. Okay? Next, number 2. For number 2, cube root of 64 is 4. Cube root of m cube is m. Plus, cube root of n cube is n. To find the terms in the second factor, refer to the first factor. Here we have to have 4. Following this, we have 4m squared. Minus AB, multiply this 2, you have 4mn. Square the second term here, plus n squared. But this one is not just simplified, so we have to simplify. 4m plus n. 4m squared is 16m squared minus 4mn plus n squared. Do you have, you look at the board, can we still see terms which are not yet simplified? Okay, no more. So these are the factors of the sum of two cubes in number